hard at work developing my Tutor LMS based website, and it's turned into an adventure of developing all kinds of extensions and custom functionality to get it to work the way I want it to. And maybe Tutor LMS needs to get a big heads up on this. But one of the things that I didn't like was that the Tutor LMS comment section in the lessons was extremely basic, and I wanted to have something that was a little bit more user-friendly and feature-rich. And I found a plugin called wpDiscuz, which really just enhances the comment section of WordPress and adds all kinds of features to it. Now, Tutor LMS's implementation of WordPress comments is done in a very non-standard custom way, so it took me a little bit to figure this out, but I basically prevented the loading of comments.php and comment loops.php in the Tutor LMS plugin, and removed the tabbed views in the main content area of the lesson page that's typically overview and comments. And then I essentially, because wpDiscuz depends on the standard WordPress implementation of comments, all I did was re-implement the standard WordPress implementation of comments in a tab, and you can see that here. The course content in the sidebar has a tab navigation now, and so you have a course content tab and a discussion tab. And one of the things that I also didn't like was that this is typically is not fixed with the course content. So if you have really long course content, you just have a big giant gray area right here in Tutor's lessons page. So I fixed that. And another thing that I did was, when you are in mobile, wpDiscuz actually has a little text bubble that will highlight or focus in on the comment. It is a way to encourage people to make a comment in the posts. But in this instance, it also helps to encourage students to interact with the course. And when it's clicked on, it opens the sidebar and it focuses in again on the discussion tab and in the text area of the new comment. So that's the latest thing that I've done. It took me a little bit. I had one failed attempt, but with this, you have a much more feature-rich comment section in Tutor LMS's lessons. And Tutor LMS can actually take this over if they want, but I've made a number of suggestions even before version 3.0 came out, and I've largely been ignored. I waited for version 3.0 to come out to start developing my website, and when it did come out, I had a number of suggestions, and it has been consistently ignored. This is one of them, and now it works. Now, wpDiscuz is a free plugin, but it comes with a number of add-ons that you can add even more features, and all of these add-ons will work in the lessons discussion sidebar. But it comes with so many things already in the free version that you might not even need any of this. But one thing that I thought that was very cool was when you are creating a post or creating a lesson, I should say, there is a little button. It's only really compatible with the classic editor of WordPress, but when you're editing a lesson with the classic, Gutenberg, you can highlight the text in the editor and create a prompt right there. It'll show up a little comment right here on the front end, and students can click on that and read the instructor's prompt. So if they have an assignment or want them to respond to a certain section, that they can create that prompt, and then students can reply in the discussion in the sidebar. I really liked the idea of having the discussion in the sidebar because as opposed to in a completely different area of the main content, switching between that main content and the discussion, because now students can read this and maybe they have a thought. So, oh yeah, this is very interesting. They can create a comment. It's like, they can write what it is that they found interesting whilst they're reading the the lesson content. But at the same time, as if they want to be focused, they can turn that off, or they can remove the sidebar as before. And also, I really loved how the wpDiscuz had that little bubble. It was a little bit more of a distraction in desktop, especially when you had that sidebar open. And then I started developing to have it reappear when you close the sidebar, but the entire point of closing the sidebar is to have a focused view, so I stopped doing that. And I did keep it for mobile, because when you're in mobile and you're reading the course content, you'll want that. Instructors will want that prompt to promote student interaction. And so when they have a thought or an idea, it will open up that sidebar with that discussion highlighted, that comment highlighted. And so I can give this to Tutor LMS. I have some suggestions that I would love for them to implement. I would implement it myself. I don't know if it's even possible, but if I did, it would really be just fudging with core Tutor LMS files. So there's really two big things that I have an issue with. One big thing, and the first big thing is, guess what? In version 2.0, you can access the course's the main content of the course, the description of the course, from the back end. And you can, as if I remember correctly, because I just looked around version 2.0, found out that they were creating a version 3.0, stopped development and waited for 3.0 to come out. Lo and behold, when 3.0 comes out, they have a front-end course builder that's much improved, and that's appreciated. But they've created a dependency on that front-end course builder where you can't do things on the back end that you used to be able to do on the back end in version 2.0. Why? It's great the front-end course builder is there, but why make it a dependency? If I want to work in the back end, and there's way more options in the back end, for instance, if I wanted to work in Gutenberg. Now, I'm in the back end right now. You think that I'd be able to just create it, maybe there's a lesson drop down or whatever in version 2.0 for the course. You reveal the lessons in that course, and you click on to edit that course in Gutenberg. Now, you can't do that. It is in, and let's go on a little adventure here, a hike. Oh geez, what did I do? I clicked on the wrong, okay. It's not intuitive at all. There's a little ellipsis way over there, hiding from view. Let's click edit. I want to edit that course. I'm in the front end course builder, not in the back end. Did I want to do that? I don't know. There should have been an option for me to do the front end or the back end. And I'm not trying to edit the main, the description of the course. I want to edit a particular lesson. So that was one click, folks. Here's a second click. All right. Here's a third click. We're starting to add up here. How long is this taking me to do? Here's a fourth click. I want to edit this lesson. I don't want to edit in here. I want to go in here. There's a fifth click. And guess what? If you create a course in Gutenberg, or a lesson, I should say, in Gutenberg, and then you're redirected to the front-end course builder, that can break your blocks. You see this here? This block is broken. This block reverted to a classic block. Why did it revert to a classic block? There's something happening when you go to the front-end course builder to edit a lesson, and then you click on the Gutenberg button to get back to Gutenberg. If you created that lesson in Gutenberg with blocks, guess what? The front-end course builder, the editor for the lessons, it breaks a number of blocks. That's not great, guys. Okay, that's the one big one. The second big one is that, and this is really an extension of the fact that if you want to edit H5P content, you can't do that on the front-end course builder. You have to give the instructors access to the back end. And once you give them access to the backend, then they want to be, then why not just keep them in the backend? Why do you have to, if you want to work in the front end, you can't. The front end can do certain things, but it can't do everything. So you'll eventually need to go to the back end. But if you're in the back end, you will need to, because they're forcing you to go to the front end. Why can't it be a seamless experience where if you want to work in the back end, you can work in the back end? Now, I understand if the front end course builder can't work with some features like H5P, the H5P editor in the back end. That's completely understandable. But why force me to jump back and forth if that's what I'm doing? And so this is an extension of that. But in Tutor LMS, some pages, like the courses page, will filter based on the user who's viewing it. So if an instructor came back here and viewed this courses page, they would only see the courses that they created. They wouldn't see other instructors' courses. I'm in admin right now, so I can see all the courses. But there are other pages that are either one, not accessible when it's not shouldn't be a problem for instructors to be, for them to be accessible, or two, it's not filtering. So if I gave instructors access to those Tutor LMS settings pages, it's not filtering based on the content that they've created. So instructors can see all content, instructors content. So if I gave them access to students, they will see all the students on Tutor LMS on my website. They will not see just students that are enrolled in courses that they've created. And sometimes this doesn't make any sense at all. Like reports, for instance, that's available on the front end. It's under a different name. I don't remember the name of it. I think it's analytics or something like that. But it's not available to instructors on the back end, even if you give them access to the back end. And and again, it's hit or miss. Like it's either not available to them and not filtered by their content, or it's available to them and not filtered by their content. These are real issues, and I don't like this fractured user experience where you're jumping from the front end and the back end constantly. Whether you want to work in the front end or you want to work in the back end in Tutor LMS, you don't have that option. There's certain things that you have to do on the front end. Why? They just developed it that way. And there are certain things that you have to do on the back end. Why? Because H5P is not available in the front end course builder. You have to go to the back end to create your H5P content. And it's a real big issue when I'm working in Gutenberg to create my lessons and I have to go to the front end course builder lesson editor, and then to click on that Gutenberg button, and it breaks my blocks in the Gutenberg created lesson that I made. So I can work on that, but I'm really going to be fudging with Tutor LMS, and I don't want to, but I wish they would take me and my concerns seriously. I'm hoping that I'm raising awareness with this, and they can take this wpDiscuz integration. I would, in return for, listening to my concerns and addressing these issues that I have. And if not, like I said, my preference is to give these plugins and these add-ons that I'm creating. I'm not trying to get into the WordPress plugin business. I will give it to wpDiscuz. But I will guarantee you that they're going to make this a premium extension, and I would not have a problem with that. I'm kind of interested in getting a couple of their, I don't know where it is, getting a couple of their extensions. If they were to sit there and give me lifetime license to a couple of these extensions, I would give them, this wpDiscuz Tutor LMS integration, and they can sell it if they want. So this is a huge enhancement to Tutor LMS. And in all actuality, what this is actually doing is, like I said in the beginning, re-implementing WordPress's standard implementation of comments. And then wpDiscuz is designed to override that standard implementation. but it didn't work with Tutor LMS because they tend to do custom implementations. I've seen this a number of times now working within the Tutor LMS code. They're not doing standard, WordPress best practices. They're customizing things that don't need to be customized. Why? It was a lot more work than it needed to be. I could have easily just implemented this in the comments tab that's available there in the main content area. But they didn't implement it the standard WordPress way. It was ultimately better for me because I actually like it better in the sidebar. Now we have real, like user interface where students can read the lessons, think about what they're reading, and then make a comment. They don't have to switch between tabs. So think about that, guys. There's lots of things going on here, and I'm working full time developing these enhancements and these improvements. And there's things that I can't do everything, but there's still lots of problems that I see. I would love for Tutor LMS to address them and make this an absolutely gorgeous LMS for WordPress, and that's why it's close, and that's why I'm going all in on Tutor LMS. But I can't fix all of the issues that I see. They can have this, but fix those issues first, and you can have this, and you can give it to the Tutor LMS community for free. Or I can give it to wpDiscuz, and they can sell it to the Tutor LMS community if they want it. But it's up to you. All right, thanks.